So we read the back of the book and we know that we win. So it's all automatic, right? Easy street. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 3 of the Torah portion of Vayelech. Let's continue now in chapter number 31 of Devarim, or Deuteronomy. Let's go down to verse number 4. Yahweh shall do to them as he did to Sihon and to Og, the sovereigns of the Amorites and their land, when he destroyed them. Yahweh shall give them over to you, and you shall do to them according to all the command which I have commanded you. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear, nor be afraid of them, for it is Yahweh your Elohim who is going to be with you. He does not fail you nor forsake you. And Moshe called Yehoshua and said to him before the eyes of all Israel, Be strong and courageous, for you are going with this people to the land which Yahweh has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you are to let them inherit it. So back in Deuteronomy chapter number 3, we read about how that Israel came into the land of the Amorites, which is on the east side of the Jordan River, and they began to conquer this section of territory. These two nations were, as some scholars said, gatekeepers guarding that side of the Jordan and the entrance into the rest of the land of what would be Canaan at that point, but to become the land of inheritance. Israel, in fighting these two city-state nations, completely wiped them out. To the man, just wiped them out completely, setting the rest of Canaan at that time in complete fear that they likewise would be annihilated by this group of people coming in. And as Midian, I believe it was, or Balak said, they're like an ox licking up the grass. They're just tearing it out by the roots. Og must have been, according to some scholars, somewhere between 9 and 13 feet tall. He was of the descendants of the Anakim, historically very large, tall, gigantic people. Some may regard him as Nephilim, whatever theories you have there. And so his height, his strength, his military prowess had nothing to offer in the face of Yah going before Israel and wiping them out. So Israel was extremely successful, not only slaying Og, but all of his military men. He had, the scripture says, no survivors remaining. Yet, and here we see again, Yah's command is to destroy all of his adversaries. This doesn't sit well with current mindsets of genocide and the way of doing things in military. You're to show mercy to women and children. And there's a reason why that Yah was seeking to wipe out this people altogether, among which the many reasons was that these people were completely indulgent and sold out to idolatry. To allow any portion of them to live would be then to leave thorns in the side of Israel and great temptations to water down a set-apart society with indulgences toward idolatry that would ultimately wreck the nation. And that actually happened. Another aspect of that was that these people would have been infested demonically and their DNA polluted, and one way of looking at it. And Yah said, just wipe them out, a clean slate. A third thing is that they had been squatting on Yah's inheritance, and that they would not let go without a fight, and they would always seek to rise up and reclaim that land. Take out Yah's adversaries. He was saying, you're not just Israel's adversaries, they're my adversaries, and I am telling you to wipe them out. So the word given to Yehoshua here is words that we need to hear in our day. Number one, and that is that Yah has already given these adversaries into our hands. Now, in the opening statement, some have said, well, I've read the back of the book and we win, so therefore, I'm just not going to worry about anything. But notice here that it's twice, at least, that Yehoshua is told, be strong and be courageous. The word here is chazechu, and it means to be strengthened, to be hardened, and resolute. Think about that. Be strengthened, hardened. That is a place of not being willing to be anemic or diluted or watered down. Hold your ground. And it means to be resolute. Stay focused. It also uses the word here, amatsu, which means to be stout, again, to be hard. But in a military mindset, it means to be alert and physically and courageous mentally. The idea here is that even though these adversaries of Yah are destined to fail, destined to be overcome, and Yah has already given them into our hands, it's not as though they are going to disappear when we stand up. We're going to have to be courageous. We're going to have to be strong. In other words, it is automatic, but it's automatic because we do something about it. When we stand our ground, when we are alert, when we go on the offensive instead of playing defense, instead of hiding behind our pulpits and our Bible studies, those things are important. They're greatly important. But that's not where the majority of the fight is taking place. The majority of our warfare is in prayer, seeking the Father's face and coming out of a prayer closet, charged in His Spirit and in the power of His might, to go live among those that are either in need of our light and are willing to come to it, or are repulsed by it and become obstinate and defined as an adversary of Yah. Make no mistake about it. In this last day, in these coming days, there is the absolute polarization of the earth taking place. Those that are defined as the enemies of Yah, they have made that decision. They are being revealed for who they are. So when evildoers wax worse and worse, do not be discouraged. Yah is showing us who is on what side. And the world will be divided between those who receive the mark of a system of a beast in their being versus those who will be sealed with the mark of Elohim in their forehead. You will take one of the two. You will be identified in one camp or the other. Be strong, be courageous, for the vast majority of this world will not choose the mark of Elohim. Yeshua said it would be a small, puny number that would find the gate that leads the way to life. So being outnumbered, being at times outmaneuvered, may cause many to be discouraged and to despair. But the word here is that we are to be resolute. We are to gather strength. In 1 Peter, it talks about in chapter 1 and verse 13, therefore having girded up the loins of your mind. That is, in their day, a man would reach through his legs, between his knees, grab the back hem of his garment, pull it up through between his legs and tie it into his belt, kind of like a large loose diaper fold, so that his legs would not be encumbered by the skirts of his garment. That way he can move, he can work, he can do warfare without being encumbered by his own garments. Don't let the things of this current world distract you. Gird up your loins of your mind. Make up your mind. I am resolute. I am determined. I am focused. I win because I fight effectively. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. Till then, shalom.